a fairly long-time viewer of mine, whom I know, and this is an understatement, does not like me, dislikes me, can't stand me. But this person is careful to not say anything too derogatory, because my online trolls or enemies or just viewers who don't like me, they know better than to be too derogatory. I won't post it because every comment goes through me to be approved or not. So anyway, this person, probably a guy, who knows, probably harping. What's Joe to you? Joe's a friend. Joe is never going to be anything but a friend. Joe and I were honest with each other years ago. If he were inclined to date, if I were, what we'd be looking for is totally different than each other. So, you know, we were together for several years, a lifetime ago. My mother looks at old pictures and you know, she's so, when she's like this, when she's just so crass and so just vulgar and so whatever, she's also looks obsessed. And has an old picture of me and Joe back in my, and she's like, how come you and Joe don't look like that anymore? That was when I was in my 20s and he was in his 30s, Joe, that's decades ago. And then my mom is almost 80. She thinks she's a young girl, and she just, but that's, oh my gosh, she's killing me, because the reality of this place is such that I have to take her, bring her into our small bathroom with the wheelchair. I can get her there fast, okay? Because remember, wheelchair, we don't really take it out of the house. Even if we go on the senior transportation, I can't lift the wheelchair. I mean, the wheelchair, but whatever. I don't know. I'm going to the back. I really just might be too difficult. Anyhow, it's the circumstances here are such that maybe I should have just got caved and got a mortgage and had a better place, but I think that might have been bad. I think, especially with my mom being so out of control now, being with Joe, I think that would have been really bad. At least he extended an olive branch after I'm like, I want nothing to do with you. You say you want nothing to do with Joe, and you don't know a soul around here. You're damning both you and your mother to fucking, who knows what would have happened. Yeah, I know. I needed Joe to understand, though. If I feel like you don't like me, then, I just, bottom line is we love each other. See, that is not ever going to change. It's just not going to change. My friendship with him could end he could end it and I would still love him. Anyhow, circumstances here are such that wheelchair can go in, it cannot go out. There's stairs there. There's stairs. Unfortunately, there's stairs. We already know my mom fell last week. We already know that I am like vigilant. Like, I'm going to stay with you every second, even when it takes you over a half hour in the morning to get all ready. I'm going to stay with you. I might walk away for a split second. Okay, when you're there safely with your walker. But I want you to think about this logically. If I have to bring the wheelchair, please just think about this logically. If I have to bring the wheelchair in there, but I can't get it out, how is she going to get out of the bathroom? Tick, 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 tick. How's she going to get out of the bathroom? Does Laura have to go as fast as possible to grab the walker? Yes, she does. And if her mother's out of her mind crazy and wants to think that she's invincible and whatever, even though she fell last week, and Laura's like this, making sure she stays with her mom every fucking split second, right? But I have to get the walker, don't I? Yes, I do. Gotta get the walker. Mom? And I have to take the wheelchair out, don't I? Can the wheelchair... I'm just like, okay, use your brains. Can the wheelchair and the walker fit in there? No, it's a small bathroom. They can't fit at the same time. Laura has to leave her mother, doesn't she? All she wants from her mother is her mother to care about her own safety, to not think she's invincible, to not be whatever. Mom? She's sitting on the toilet. Do not stand up and wipe. I'm just getting the walker. I'll be right back. Or sometimes if we've got caught up in something or whatever, okay, then I will pull up her pants, I'll have her sit, and she's already sitting on the toilet just waiting for me to get the wheelchair out and get the walker back in. A few hours ago, I went to get the walker and it wasn't right there because I left it at the front door because I'm not perfect, and we'd had a nice time sitting out on the porch, on the nice front porch and listening to music that I put on my MP3 player and play on my little speaker. It's not my kind of music, but it's my kind of music for the sake of something my mom and I both will like, and I still like that old music. Oh, What a Night, Late December, Knock on Wood, and Bad Day's not quite as well. I like that Bad Day. I really like that. Could sneak in the remake of Cats in the Cradle by Ugly Kid Joe, whatever, because it's still Cats in the Cradle, it's just the remake, you know. My song, my music is rock and alternative rock, but, you know, classic rock, alternative rock, but, you know, I can... Fact is, I came back to the bathroom, and yes, I got upset, and yes, I'm going to get upset because I'm killing myself to keep you safe, and you're not keeping yourself safe. Came back, she was standing up by the sink, no walker, no wheelchair, no nothing. And remember, she just fell last week, and with the walker there, she fell with the walker there. Okay, that's what I vowed. And the bottom line is, with that kind of I'm invincible, nothing's going to happen to me, God will protect me attitude. Remember, even in a nursing home, they couldn't keep her safe because she's not well. What the fuck? What are you doing standing up? Why did you stand up? I'm gone for seconds. What are you doing? Please don't. Please. Nothing I can do. Just like she wanted to get up at 2:30 This morning I had to beg and plead, and if she had insisted, can I force her back into bed? No. Can I force her to take the furosemide Lasix pill? No. I can't force her back into bed either. You fucking go to, and she doesn't go to bed early anymore. She did in the hotel. I can't fathom if she had behaved in the hotel as bad as she's been behaving lately here. I can't fathom it. Not that she was perfect by any means, but this is out of control. This is so bad that we went and got her blood work today. She didn't want to do it. Last minute, I'm not going. Mom, please. You have to go get your blood work, please. Please go, please. We need to get the blood work done. We have to wait for other appointments, but I just want your blood work out of the way, please. It's a walk-in thing, please. I'm not going. And she's screaming and yelling she's not going to go when Joe's waiting for us outside. That's nothing compared to I walk away from the bathroom and I'm gone for seconds and I don't know if she's going to try to do something foolish like she did just a few hours ago and stand up without any walker or wheelchair. Now again, she does hold on to the sink, but so what? I don't know why she fell last week with the wheel walker. I don't want her wiping herself. She fell with the walker. She was weak on her feet, unbalanced. Oh, that was when she'd already fallen earlier and they'd come to get her up. And then I had her go to the bathroom and then. Anyway, that person I was talking about, even other people here and there sometimes are like, but this one's like, what's your OnlyFans? Or years ago I thought if I was going to do anything like that, clips for sale for OnlyFans or what have you, it would have been years ago. These days, I'm just forlorn. Forlorn with a capital F. Heartbroken, dejected, just... If you try so hard to keep a person safe, human being you love, and their mind causes them to do something like that. You just fell last week, and you had your walker there, and I had approved you, so to the nursing facility, you could be left alone to wipe yourself, or whatever, and I'd help, or I'd supervise, or I'd be going back and forth, but after you fell, hit your head on the tub. I could have gone into horror, but at any given moment could be horror. She's not supposed to try to get up out of the bed anymore either. And she still does. That's somebody nobody could keep that person safe. Nobody. That's what it does. Just like she subconsciously wants to die. She wants things to be different than they are. A lot of people want that, Mom. You're fucking crazy. We were at the hospital today doing walk-in blood work, right? I let her have her phone. I was waiting for Joe to come back, okay? I let her have her phone because I swore to her, promised her I'd let her have her phone. But then she wants to hold on to the phone and she can't do that and maneuver and be safe and get in and out of the wheelchair and all that, right? Or the walker or whatever. She can't hold on to anything. So I had to give her her phone. I also had to pee because I'd already taken her once and she was fine, but she had to fast. So she didn't get to drink much either, but I drank my 32 ounces of water like I try to do every morning, and I had to go to the bathroom again. I had her go to the car, but she had her phone, and then Joe and I are in the front seat, and my mother's making phone calls in the back. And what Joe said to me, he's like flabbergasted. He's like, I'm really surprised the person she's calling doesn't realize, like, your mom's making phone calls in the back seat of the car, and she's screaming at Joe, like us to be quiet, or Joe wants to blast his music because my mom goes blah, whatever, and you shut that music off. Joe just ignores her, but he wonders the same thing I do, but this is someone I'm able to say what's going on. But he's like, why does she even go along with it? You know? She probably doesn't know that my mom shouldn't be trying to make phone calls in the back seat and expecting us to be quiet in the front seat when Joe's the one driving and you're the one that needs to be quiet, Mom, not the person driving us. If I'm trying just bending over backwards, just killing myself to try to keep her safe, but I have no choice. I have no choice but to, as quickly as possible, switch out the wheelchair for the walker. And if she decides she's going to stand up, and so then I try to do. The thing is, because I know her now, and I know how tempted she is to wipe herself and stand up and wipe herself. Now we tried the new thing earlier where I get her all wiped. She's all wiped. All she has to do is just sit on that toilet and wait seconds for me to come back. And she did it. She stood the fuck up and was at the sink. If you want to say, she belongs in a nursing facility. It's that simple, and even they won't be able to keep her 100% safe. That's a given. We know that. I discussed that with the cop who came here, because they won't take her against her will for her own. No, they're not gonna. They're just gonna come. They could come 10 times in a day and lift her back up. Okay? But she needs to. She's going to bed way too late. It's so hard on me, because she's gonna get up 2 or 3 times in the night and get going to bed way too late. She gets fixated and then won't go back to bed. She gets all agitated, mad at me because she wants all these things that I won't get her. She sees all these things on infomercials or on morningsave.com when we watch Inside Edition or watch other stuff that has that, and I want this and I want that, and that's only this and that's only that. You do nothing for me. You do nothing. I take care of you. What about that ellipse you said I could have when we were, yeah, Mom? An ellipse gets plugged in. It's not like the blue tiger, okay? It gets plugged in. An ellipse gets plugged in. You are in a wheelchair that you never keep locked. You never keep that locked. I can't lock this one side, I know, and you risk your life all the time. You go to the edge, you bend down, you get stuff, you drop stuff. The ellipse gets plugged in. I cannot get you an ellipse. Okay. Just going through the motions here because I don't believe her days of freedom are numbered. There's nothing that I can do. She's out of fucking control. I mean, to the point of she had a temper tantrum in the hospital lobby. Because an ellipse gets plugged in. You cannot have the ellipse when you're in that wheelchair and you never keep it locked. You unlock it all the time. You cannot have an ellipse until I get an armchair. I'm working on trying to get an armchair. Okay? They have Bed Bath & Beyond, Wayfair. I don't know if Wayfair is in person. You can Bed Bath & I don't know. The fact is, and then Joe was suggesting other places. I'm like, Joe, this is just for my mom. We had an old shabby one that's nice and firm. We need it for her so she's not just in that wheelchair. But she needs to be in a chair that doesn't move before I would ever in a million years get her an ellipse. And then she's demanding. She wants her rebounder set up. The rebounder set up. Joe's not going to set up your rebounder in any universe. You can't walk, you can't use it. It's because I want an exercise class. Well, Joe's not going to do, and it's all taken apart. And I can't force him to do anything, okay? He's only going to do what he wants to do. My mom was throwing a fit today because she had to fast for all those hours, over 12 hours by the time we did other stuff. We had to get her meds at the pharmacy. And, it all took time. Everything takes time. And she wanted him to stop at Dunkin' Donuts, and he refused to. And, Joe's not going to do anything that he doesn't want to do, and he doesn't believe in that kind of stuff. And then I had stuff ordered from Amazon. I have it all delivered to Joe, and he brings it. Okay. I decided to get a toilet railing instead of a raised toilet, simply because if the raised toilet doesn't fit for whatever reason, or even if it comes, it's sickening. The Oasis one, like, it could come with missing screws or something, and there's no returns, and people, like, you have to go through hell and back to try to get any, and you know what I mean? It could come defective. It's not worth it when you can't return something. I don't care how high reviews it has. I don't like that when you can't return something. So I decided to do railings. We know she can get up from the toilet. She has to use the sink to do it. So I'm gonna try the toilet railings. I think I don't know how that will be, but but anyway, and I got sweets. I got sweets just for the 4th, but I got sweets, and then I bought sweets today at the pharmacy. I bought those truffle chocolates she likes, the Lindor, whatever. And she's like, I want all of them. You shouldn't have any. You're whatever. And you're eating too much. And like, yeah, you're right, Mom. You're right. I'm like this with you all the time. I am eating too much, and I shouldn't eat these sweets. I got non-GMO mint glutino cookies from Amazon, but I also got these Pirelli things that are not Peppertrum, that it's all bad. Even the non-GMO organic still not good for you, Plus my filling came out on the front of my tooth, so it's not good for another reason. But I'm so, like, she gets like that. She gets like that. She's like, she'll see somebody heavy and want to shout out to them. That person's, that's where it's really heavy. I want to tell them how they can diet. Mom, be quiet, please, please. And, and it's just awful, because I don't care, even if you could say, well, she doesn't know any better, she has dementia. Well, Joe doesn't really believe my mother doesn't know any better, but whatever. It's still going to make someone feel bad, and I don't want her to do it. Don't want her to do it. Can you imagine how sucks it is for me? How wonderful it is when my mother goes to bed at 9, because remember, I have to get up with her a few times in the night. When she goes to bed at 9, instead of as late as she's been doing lately. It fucking sucks. It's like, nothing I can do. I'm going to try to get her TV fixed, right? But it's the holiday. But they work on the holiday. And then the woman on the phone was like, we can put you on a waiting list. All you have to do is text this to this number, and they'll put you on a waiting list. They don't put you on a waiting list. What they do is they have you choose a day, and not just a day, a time. So I want it to be any day and any time between now and the appointment next week. And the electrician's going to be coming, so I can't have Comcast come. But they're making me choose just one day and time. Like, what the fuck? That is the weirdest fucking thing. Why can't it just be on a waiting? No. I want it to be on a waiting list for everything, and it's not. See, you're on a waiting list. You're on a waiting list for tomorrow, 12 to 2. But your original appointment for next week is still confirmed. I wanted to be on a waiting list for every day and every time, and you can't, and I was led to believe you could. This electrician's here. He has a lot to do. He's got like 40 plugs to change individually. He's got stuff to do in the basement that was on the inspection. He's got, but I'm sure he's not going to get it all done in a day. Can Comcast come here when the electrician's here? I don't know. I don't know. I warned him the first day he comes. My mom says anything to you, just ignore her. And the first thing's out of her mouth to me is he old or young? I mean, she's just, I don't even know how to explain how bad she is, because it's just so unbelievably bad. It's unfathomably bad how she's behaving. It's so, so bad. Out of control bad. Bed at 11:30, up for day at 3:30, equals potential danger for her and eternal heartbreak for me. She refused to go back to bed, and I can't ever force her to do so. Kind male cop agreed with me last time she fell from doing the same thing she did at 3:30 this a.m. That was yesterday. Today she was good. To so-and-so in real time, to others later when I get up for day. She called and talked at length with so-and-so last night. What a farce. People in her life but not mine, such as her sister or friends she made in nursing homes and still calls, were remain ignorant. You and a handful of other people will know the truth. She was good for a couple of days. Right now she's again in danger in her own life, while simultaneously harming me, because when she willfully and shamefully refuses to go back to bed in the middle of night when she went to bed very late and is on just a few hours sleep, it kills me. She was up twice and in bed for 4 measly hours total. She was about to get back into bed and then suddenly changed her mind because I refused to obey her and go get a brush to brush her hair in the middle of the night. She's in grave danger when she chooses to pull this shit. She's also refusing to take her pee pill. Back in Massachusetts several months ago, it took 2 weeks of her refusing to take her life-saving Lasix for her to land in the hospital fighting for her life for a week. There's nothing I can do. It's 4:15 a.m. I'm going back to bed and yet again praying I don't wake up to tragedy. And that was yesterday. Then she fell again. I had to call 911 again. She can't get up for day at 3 a.m. after going to bed at midnight. She's again okay, but her luck will eventually run out. And that was Saturday. She didn't wake me up when I was sleeping beside her. What if I'd been sleeping in my room? She has to want to wake me up. She told me she wanted to prove she could get into a wheelchair on her own. Saturday. See what I'm dealing with? She wants to prove it. She wants to prove she's fine in the bathroom, in the bed, get up in the wheelchair, get up and wipe herself when I ask her to wait, and I'll be back in a second, a few seconds it takes to, but it's very, very quick, and I'm thinking, it's like,